What is up, YouTube? I'm Eric and you are watching Retro Video Game Pickups. Today, we'll be talking about my top 5 best and my top 5 worst racing games on the Nintendo 64. So, let's hop into it. Okay, so as you probably know, the Nintendo 64 has a bunch of racing games. And I'm not talking 20, I'm talking like 30 or 40. Just a bunch of them. Some of them are really good and some of them really suck. So I want you to see what my top 5 and my worst 5 racing games on the Nintendo 64 are. So my number 5 for top best is Hot Wheels Racing. This game is so much fun. I've played it so much when I was a kid, and still to this day, if I want to play a racing game, and I do want to play something that's maybe a third party or different, this is one of them that I'll pick up, because it's so much fun, and you could either play it with your friends, or you can play it by yourself and still enjoy the game. It has a bunch of hidden secrets and hidden race cars that once you find them, you can unlock them, and it's pretty much your cartoony, arcadey, fun racer. So, if you haven't played this, go pick it up. My number 5 worst racing game on the Nintendo 64 is Monster Truck Madness. Now, as you've probably seen, I have talked about this game in previous videos, and I really like Summit Rumble on this for a multiplayer, but it really sucks as a racer. The controls are so terrible, and you try to turn and it's like, and it just doesn't work. So that's why it made this list. Now, it does have some key, cool things that aren't necessarily racing, like you could play Summit Rumble or hockey or soccer or something like that, which makes it better, but for a racing game, it's not good at all. So I say if you're gonna play a racing game, pass on this one.
And the clock continues to tick away. Checkpoint.
My number 4 best racing game is Beetle Adventure Racing. This game is actually pretty cool. It's pretty simple because what it is you have one type of car. Of course, the Volkswagen Beetle. So the cool thing about this is you can get different colors, and that's pretty much as customizable as this gets. However, the racing is very fun. Like, it's really good at turning because of the way it's set up. The controls are very comfortable, and there's a bunch of games on this list that the controls destroy the game. Now, this one has pretty cool maps, and it has pretty good graphics as well, so pick it up if you don't have it already. My number 4 worst racing game is NASCAR 99. So, NASCAR is pretty basic. There's nothing hard to explain. You get in a car, you turn left, you turn left, you turn left, you turn left. And that's the lap. Now that's okay, that makes it interesting. However, with this one, the controls make it so hard to play, and I just can't handle it, because what you need to do is stay on the line so you can go around the track and get faster and not hit things or whatever. However, the controls make it nearly impossible to actually do that, which for me makes it really hard to play, and that's why I gave it a thumbs down. I didn't like it, and it was kind of boring to me, and even the crashes were unrealistic, because if you crashed and your tire flew off, which it does, it's like, oh, your tire's damaged, or it's gone, and then you can just keep driving. Doesn't matter. So, that's why this is on the list.
Look out. Hey, battle is side by side.
My number 3 best racing game on the Nintendo 64 is Hydro Thunder. So this game is super fun. If you've never played it, I think you need to get it, because it is a racer, a boat racer, that's very fun. So there's boosts and whatnot, and the tracks are really cool, and there's things in the water passing you, and it's just a really, really fun racing game. So if you need to find a racer that's on the water, this is definitely the one. Now there is also Wave Race 64, and these are very somewhat similar, but I think this one wins, so that's why I put it at number 3. My number 3 worst game is Automobilia Lamborghini, which is kind of weird because on this list already I have a Beetle racing game, which is a Volkswagen deal. It's made by them, they race it. It's cool. You wouldn't think it'd be a good racer, but it is. But this one you see, okay, Lamborghini made it, oh, it's gonna be a top-notch game. Well, that's where you're gonna be wrong. The controls on this really kill it, and the graphics are alright. Like, I can tell it's a car, I can tell it's a Lamborghini, but it just doesn't work for me, and it's really hard to control because when you're driving, it's like, oh, you're just jerking all over the place trying to stay going straight, and it just doesn't work. So that's why that's on my list. My number 2 best racing game is Diddy Kong Racing. Now I know this is a really fun game and everybody's probably played it. It has some cool characters, which I love personally, like Conker or Banjo or whatever, whoever you want to be, that's on this game. Now I think this is kind of a Mario Kart ripoff, and if you've ever played this, you could tell that it's really a ripoff of Mario Kart because it just has things that are the exact same thing. Now, the hover and the fly mode are something that Mario Kart does not have, but this is still a super fun game, and that is why it is number 2 on my list. Okay, so my second worst Nintendo 64 game is Rush 2 Extreme Racing. Now this game, I could not get past it. It is not fun at all. So it kind of reminds me of a ripoff of Cruis'n Exotica because some of the levels look the same-ish kind of, but like downgraded graphics. It's just kind of an all-around bad game. The controls aren't fun, you spin out a lot, and it just isn't fun. That's why it made number 2 on this list. Okay, so my top best racing game on the Nintendo 64 is of course Mario Kart 64. However, you can probably tell this is a fake case, and yes it is. I picked up this game with this weird black case on Craigslist. However, I opened it up and the board is actually real. So I like to keep this because it's obviously faked, but the board is somehow still real. So this game is a bunch of fun. It's like Diddy Kong Racing, but I think it's a step higher because of everything that's involved in it. You have the battle mode, which makes it a lot of fun, and playing this with friends and being able to throw shells at them and make them go behind you, or to throw a banana and hit them, or throw it behind you and hit them, whatever it is, this game is definitely my top racing game on the Nintendo 64, and it's a really good racing game on any console. I think it's definitely up there. So if you don't have any of these racing games, but you need to pick one up, pick up Mario Kart. It's not that expensive. It's maybe 20 bucks, 25 bucks right now, but it's a really top-notch game, and that's why it's my number 1. Okay, so my number one worst racing game on the Nintendo 64 is XG2, Extreme Racing 2, which I think this game sucks a bunch. The controls are bad, the graphics are bad, it has a shooting mechanic that's okay. It's not a fun game. Like, I played it and I was driving and I turned and I just stayed on the edge for like 5 seconds, even though I was trying to get off of it. And I've fallen off of it a few times, which is kind of weird because on the tracks it has actual barricades. So, like, the way it's programmed, it's not allowed to let you out of this track. However, there's a few places that you can, which is weird. So, that's another reason this is my number one worst Nintendo 64 racing game. If you like videos like this, please comment below and let me know what you think. I will be working on more of the same variety because I think you guys need to know what you need to pick up and what not to pick up. So I'd just like to thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.